That name to me means truth and integrity and hope.
He's a person that stood up for what he believed in, you know, against all odds. As a civil rights leader during the movement, he made sacrifices for not only blacks but all races, you know what I'm saying, for justice and equality.
His name in general, to me, is the epitome of what it means to be a voice of the people. He really inspired change for equal rights, not only for the African American community, but for all people. And so that to me is immensely inspiring.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. means inspiration, motivation, and doing what's right even when you're being told not to.
He is a civil rights icon, and for me, he represents a higher level of courage and charisma. He's very convicted in his beliefs.
When I hear of the name Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I think of someone who fought for freedom. Someone was, I would say, he was very, very brave. I think of the kind of the democracy, the justice, the equality, and the freedom that we cannot have in our current environment.
His message for our country, right? The hope of what we should be. His dream is the American dream in my mind. When I hear what he stood for, that's what I think our nation stands for.
Being biracial, you know, I had to deal with a lot of pushback from, you know, other ethnic groups. Having a white mother, you know, there was a lot of things that we couldn't do, a lot of judgment that was passed on, you know. We're actually pushed out of my grandparents' home, you know what I'm saying, because my mother had a relation with a black man. So yeah, the things that he did does actually mean a lot to me.
I was able to go down to Montgomery, Alabama. I did see the church at which he provided sermon. I walked the path to the bridge at Selma. I saw the bridge at Selma, and I got to tell you, it was incredibly moving.
He was motivated by people telling him he couldn't do something, and I kind of have that same motto. I've had several people as a woman and also being in the Air Force just telling me you can't do something, you'll never succeed, and I love proving people wrong. It's motivating for me, just as it was for him, to let people say you can't do it and then watch you say, yes I can.
Dr. King, he inspired me. The way he carried himself, he seemed calm, and he stayed his course, you know, convicted to what he believed in. The way he approaches people, the way he handles conflict, I admire all that.
I grew up in a different environment. I was born and raised in Africa. My immediate parents, my grandparents, they, you know, grew up and they lived in that environment during the colonial era. That's the kind of, I would relate to the environment during the colonial era.
I'm extremely proud of what Martin Luther King has done for not only the United States, but for the global population. Personally, especially being a flight commander and a family nurse practitioner, the diversity that we have in the United States Air Force, the people that I get to encounter and I get to work with on a daily basis, it's truly impactful to me.
For diversity and equality in the Air Force, we're headed in the right direction, but there's definitely still improvements that we can make. Doing the right thing and making sure that everyone's getting those same opportunities and experiences to get promoted or have those genuine opportunities.
Where it matters is us as members of the Air Force, right? Really trying to put it to the pavement, right? What matters, us enacting the precepts and concepts of diversity and inclusion as it comes person to person.
We have come together as a people, you know, but like I said, we still have a long way to go. There's still things that happen today, you know, that shouldn't be happening, but I feel like we have made progress and we'll continue to make progress.
He was the right man for the right time, and we could use another Dr. King.
During those times when everything almost seemed dark, we had a lot of faith that in the future. And he always talk about, like there's always that light at the end of the tunnel.
Happy Martin Luther King Day.